Hi there, my name's Cole Medeiros. I'm the creator of Web of Spies. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough for you to teach you the rules. So what we have here are all the components for the game. We have the board, we have the asset deck, there's the starter decks for each player, the asset tokens, some dice, those are the pieces that represent spies for each player, and then a little player mat. So when we're setting up to play, the first thing we're going to do is give the starting spies to each of the players. And then we're also going to give them one of these starting decks. Everybody's starting deck is actually the same set of cards. Each player has a false identity, a black car, silenced pistol, and they'll have 7 blank spy cards. So now that each player has their starting assets, we're going to be determining where in the world we're going to begin. So we're going to determine that region by rolling the white dice. So here we go. 3. So we are actually starting in Africa. The board is designed such that anytime you need to select a region, you roll the white dice, and anytime you need to select a city in that area, you roll the black dice. So in this case, the first player to select their places would then roll the black dice here, and 2. So my agents would start in Algiers. Okay, so now that we've placed all the agents, now it's time to place the starting assets. Now you see here there's 2 public assets and 1 secret asset. So the way those are determined is I'm going to, of course, shuffle and place the asset deck face down. And then I'm going to roll these 2 dice for, let's say, the white asset. So that's going here in South America and at Buenos Aires. So I place that token there, and then I draw a card for this slot. Quick thinking. So now the agents know if they go to Buenos Aires, they can pick up the quick thinking card and add that to their deck later on. And I'll do that again to fill in the second public asset. 4, 4. So that's up here in Europe. That is in Rome. So place that token there, and I draw the second public asset, which is a wire transfer. Players can now go to Rome to pick up a wire transfer and add it to their deck to use later on. Now the third asset is a secret asset. So I actually place it face down and roll for the location. So I got 6, 2. So that's over here in Manila. So let's place that guy. And now players know if they go there, they can buy the face down asset, but they don't know what it is until they buy it. So at this point, the stage is set. Players each draw 5 cards from their starting decks, and they begin with the starting player. Okay, so let's say I am the blue player. So to start the game, like I said before, we're going to draw 5 cards. Now these would be secret from players, but I'm just going to put them face up here. So I drew a blank card, ooh, there's my false identity, another blank card, and my car. Now blank cards may seem not that great, but they're actually useful because in this game every single card can be used to move your agents or to buy new cards. So now I have some things to consider here. I can move and try to get that gray asset up there, or I can start positioning myself to maybe go acquire this asset here in South America, or even start moving over for this one. So let's see here. The gray asset's not too bad. It's a wire transfer and gives me some extra buying power very early in the game. So I might want to go pick that up. So what I'll do is I will discard one of my blank cards. In this game you can discard face down because you might want to conceal when you use and when you don't use certain things. So I can discard 1 card to move my agent up into Rome. And then the wire transfer costs 2, so I have to discard 2 more cards. Now, my false identity is a defense card. I'm not going to be able to keep it through this turn, so I might as well discard it now just to buy something. So I'll discard these two, face down of course. Then I can take the wire transfer and place it into my discard. And now I have a couple more options. My black car here, I can move an agent 2 spaces, or I could trash it to use in combat, either to attack or defend. So I could go and drive in and start attacking people in my continent, but I might want to wait. Trashing that card so early is probably a bad idea. So instead I'll move an agent, let's say here, to start going for this guy, and then I'll use my black car, which I'll have to reveal to other players to use this ability, to move 2 spaces. And I will take another agent here and here. Now this one was removed because I bought this asset, and now that it's the end of my turn, if I had any cards left I would discard them, but I don't. So instead I draw back up to 5, so that'd be my remaining cards from my starting deck, and then I roll to replace this gray asset. So 1-1, that's up here in Vancouver. Place that there, and this is a public asset, so I reveal it to everybody. A bomb. Bombs are really kind of cool. You can trash it when an opponent reveals a vehicle, similar to the car I just revealed. When opponent reveals a vehicle to move, you trash it. You kill the bomb, and you kill the agent and their vehicle. It's pretty fun stuff. So there's just one turn in Web of Spies, and then it will go to the next player. An important tactic in the game actually is the fact that some locations can be contested. Now what this means is red agent may be moved earlier here to grab this gray asset, but then when I move my blue agent in, I've now blocked them from buying that, which essentially means you have to have more spies in that city than any other player in order to buy that asset. So red player, if they really want this asset, can either kill me or potentially bring another red agent in here. And if they manage to do that, they can then buy it out from under me. Okay, let's say the red player really wants that gray asset, so they decide to attack me. Now, I've laid out, some possible hands here. Each of us happens to have 3 cards that we can use, and then each of us has 2 of these blank cards, which actually have no real purpose in combat. The red player starts by attacking me with some C4 explosives. Now, you can see here, it can be used for attack or defense, so they can use it to attack, and these are the symbols. So I have to match those symbols with a defense card in order to not have my agent killed. Luckily, I have a bulletproof vest, which can be used because the symbols match here. But they can then respond to that combat by using an attack card which has this symbol on it. So the red player responds with a flamethrower. Flamethrower matches my symbol and can be used for attacking. So I have to pick one of my cards to defend from that. Maybe, let's see here, I'm going to use my private yacht. It can be used for defense, and it definitely blocks his symbol, essentially jumping on my yacht to make a quick escape. But he's able to respond to the yacht with his remote operative. Now I'm in trouble. I only have 1 defense card left, but uh-oh, it doesn't match. So actually, my blue agent just got killed. I remove my blue agent from the board, and the red agency is now free to buy this gray asset if they have enough cards to spend on it. When you kill an agent, take their piece and place it onto your player mat. This can be used to break ties later on. The game ends when any player is eliminated and loses their final spy. Now, whichever spy agency has the most spies still in the game, they are declared the winner. And in the case of a tie, just check to see how many kills everyone has. In this case, if the green player isn't tied for the lead, and they have more kills here than anybody else, they're the winner. So part of what I think makes the game so much fun and interesting and replayable, even for me, is basically seeing which assets come up. There's about 70 or so different asset cards, and depending on which ones come up early in the game or late in the game, and which ones the player managed to acquire, there's just so many different possibilities. You never quite know what another player has in their hand because of the secret asset that they could be acquiring. And even if they have an awesome thing, the question is, do they have it when they really need it? And do you have your assets when you really need it? And that's what I think makes the game really exciting and fun. And there's just a lot of neat interaction, and the combats are just really fun to take part of. I really advise you to check out the print and play. Kind of, you can get a sense for all these different cards and sort of look through them. Each has been heavily play tested to make sure that it's balanced, but adds a lot of spice and variety to the game, and just really brings out the theme. And of course, these are all going to have artwork once the game funds. This is a weapon here. Obviously, it can be used to attack and defend, but oftentimes they have additional abilities. This one says when declaring an attack, you can trash this card to kill the target, and that can't be blocked. So it gives you sort of, you can use it once, or you may be able to use it several times, depending if you use it that way. American CIA, attack cannot be blocked in North America, so if you acquire that card, you become very dangerous up there. And here's a vehicle card, which is a patrol boat. It can be used to attack and defend, and it can be used in combat, or it can move your agent 4 spaces. So just these 3 cards are some examples of the options you have available. There's also quite a few sabotage cards, which have a lot more to do with extra abilities than they do with combat. You can see kind of the range of prices here on these cards, and they have neat abilities like this one, trash to look through enemy's discard pile and take a card into your hand. Surveillance, look at enemy hand and discard one of their cards, great to use before an attack. Bribery, place a card from your hand into an opponent's hand, can be a good way to get rid of your blank cards and thin your deck. Or this is one of my favorites, the secret weapon, choose a location, all agents at target location are killed. When this one comes up into the asset pile, you better believe everybody's going for it. Alright, that's pretty much the game of Web of Spies. If you have any questions, let me know, and I appreciate anything you can do to help me get this game funded. Thanks so much.